Okay. Um. So I wanted to kind of put my thoughts um about what's going on um in America and the world, and um I told my students I needed them to write a journal because we are living in some unprecedented times, um and this is kind of once in a century type of situation we're dealing with here, and I decided to kind of heed my own words here. All right, so I can't say that um, I'm angry or upset or sad or happy or pleased or any one of those emotions because I'm all of those. Here's why. I want to put in utilize the news, if you will. So I'm gonna say some things that I normally don't say in my in my class, and I wanna I'm just gonna kind of put it out there, right? Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a fan of 45. I'm not a fan of Agent Orange. I'm not. Never have been. Never will be. Um, I believe in my heart he is an individual who is not just flawed. He's past flawed. He is grotesque, self-absorbed, egotistical, um, unempathetic, um, bully who looks out for him and not others at the end of the day and tries to put a spin on it so he looks good, or at least tries to look good in a certain perspective. And his mouthpieces that goes out and and spew um, the the holy word of 45 allows him to continue on and perpetuate this small egotistical persona which he has embodied for decades. I'm not gonna go back to the times when he was on The Apprentice, or when he and his father discriminated against black and brown folks in regards of rent in their lofts and in their apartments. So I'm not going to go that far. I'm not even going to um, go to the time of the Central Park Five. I don't need to go there because it's well documented. I really want to start today. So today, without even mentioning it, 45 that is, without calling attention to it today, um, April 15th, 2020, reached a landmark. And that landmark is that over 2,400 people today alone died because of coronavirus. 2,400 plus people, Americans, citizens, old and young, different backgrounds, different religions, different ethnicities, different sexual um, preferences. They died. Not one single mention by our president. Yes, I did say our president, and I'm not going to get into the concept of the presidential election 2016. That's a different time for a different notion and a different video. But he happens to be our president, whether we like it or not. Now you can claim that he's not your president, like Hannity did in 2016 when Barack Obama won, and he claimed that Obama wasn't his president. That's fine. Go ahead, claim it. Perfectly fine with that. He is our president. Here's why I say that. Either we voted for him, or we didn't go out to vote, or we didn't push people out the door to vote. We'll get into that in a different video. What bothered me even more than he showing a lack of empathy was that the perpetuators, in particular, a black woman by the name of Candace Owens, sent out a video. And in this video, she talks about the fact that, you know, now we're living in this tyrannical United States, echoing 45's words here, that the governors are taking the rights of the people away and going way too far with this, with the stay-at-home orders and so on and so forth. Now, I want to be clear about this. 2,400 plus people died. And it's safe to assume not one of them pulled at the heartstrings, tugged at the soul of Candace Owens. My wife's uncle died today. Because of coronavirus. There's a young man in New Orleans, Louisiana, who in a span of a week lost an uncle, an aunt, the mother, and another aunt within a week. 1 week. And this sociopath by the name of Candace Owens and the authoritarian leader of America, 45, because I refuse to say his name, showed zero empathy. That same individual, Candace Owens and 45, said that we need to open America back up. We need to have places of worship. And it seeped in the brains of many pastors who failed to think of the parishioners that they have. A couple of them, the pastors, died themselves. And their church wants their parishioners to grieve and mourn for him or for them, which they should, but they also should understand that when you follow a zealot, an authoritarian leader, and I put in quotations that bad things happen to you. The problem that we have is that we lack someone with true leadership who is able to manipulate and transmogrify a a portion of America and then be able to open the floodgates for them without worry or caution for others. Here's an example. Did you know that there's Tea Party members and far right wing goofs went to the Capitol to protest in the state of Michigan and Kentucky and even Pennsylvania because of the strict stay at home order? And in certain areas within Michigan, they blocked off roads so first responders were unable to get to their jobs at the hospital. What's wrong with people? You upset because someone actually cares about you? So you rebel? I get it. I get it. You're getting flashbacks from when your ma and your pa told you not to do something. Now you want to rebel. I get it. I got it. I'll go. Well, go ahead and rebel. Go out in society. Matter of fact, because you want to rebel so much, how about this? How about you go to a hospital where there are individuals with the coronavirus? And since you want to be free and 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 be like a flower and just bloom, why don't you bloom yourself in that unit with no mask, no gloves, no smocks, no aprons, and just be free? And then record and post it on YouTube or on the Facebook or Instagram, whatever. How are you feeling in about a week or two? You have to think about what you're doing and how you're doing it and what you are setting the message to. All those people who are protesting, you are directly affected. Those 2,400 plus people today who died, you don't have a connection to them. I get that. But when your mom or your dad, your brother or your sister, your son or your daughter, your best friend gets it, and you see them on Facebook, maybe you're able to FaceTime them sometimes and maybe do something on that level, and you see them with a ventilator, grasping for air, then you will see why these governors are doing what they're doing. You will see why you have individual governors that are diametrically opposed to what 45 is trying to do, which is open America by May 1st. You gotta be joking. In 2 weeks, come on, you don't even have a vaccine. By the way, 45 stopping payment to the World Health Organization because he wants to do an investigation as to why he and others didn't get the memo in regards of coronavirus. The World Health Organization sent not only memos but information stating that a specific virus is starting to spread its wings in the Wuhan province of China. And it's starting to spread. He knew that. Matter of fact, in January of 2020, not that long ago, he was asked about whether that's a particular case in the United States in regards to the coronavirus. Are you concerned? No, we have it under control. That was in the first couple of weeks of January. At the end of January, well, there's no, it's only like 10 cases. It's all under control. We have it corralled. And he says the same thing over and over and over again. But you want to try to stop funds from the World Health Organization because you want to put blame on others and not put blame on yourself. And certain people want to call you a leader. Some people want to call him a leader. He's not. And then tried to have unilateral power to defund them, at least on our end, to not send funds to the World Health Organization. Not just that, he also wanted to put blame on the Democrats. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of Democrats either, but good Lord, something gotta give. He has to know he had total control to a certain extent. His first 2 years of presidency, when he had a Republican led Senate and a Republican led House. Well, we Democrats are stopping me from having a fully functional staff. You did that. You trying to tell me you couldn't fill all your positions in 2 years? Really? Matter of fact, you couldn't do it in 3 years? You got Brett Kavanaugh as Supreme Court Justice, but you can't put certain doctors at the CDC and other positions? Come on, dude. Stop it. All that tanning got to your head. And now, another situation's coming up where Smithfield Farms, there are many individuals who work on those farms who now have been infected with coronavirus, who have worked in the poultry area and the areas where meat could be contaminated. Now we gotta deal with this. By the way, your swamp filled infested cabinet members, the Commerce of Agriculture, Mr. Purdue, you know, Purdue Farms, chicken, so on and so forth. Yeah, he's saying don't no need to worry, everything is fine. Stop it. I get you don't want to cause panic. I get that. But you gonna have to figure out a way not only stop this situation from happening and spreading within those forms, but you gotta be honest with the American people, Mr. Purdue. Then again, your friend is 45. Now, on top of that, the Small Business Association, these loans are supposed to go out to these small businesses are going to run dry by Friday, if not on Thursday, the 16th. These tranches of money that are coming out were not well thought of and well thought out. If you know that you're going to have X amount in regards of funding for businesses and or corporations, then you need to be able to delineate X amount of money specifically for this. That should be one specific tranche of money. And it has to be a cap based upon how many individuals are within that company, that corporation, that entity to function for at a minimum of 6 months. And then be able to effectively fund the banks to get the money to loan out. This is what happens when you have when you have deregulation. It's when you have a deregulation type of administration. This is what you get at the end of the day. Dysfunction, unempathetic people without a clear plan of action. And then you surround yourself with individuals who aren't forward thinking and not the smartest people. And I'll end it with this. I get that you have a mouthpiece. This is for anybody out there. I get you may have a mouthpiece to talk for you and to send your agenda out to the media because you're able to articulate and change and manipulate words and phrases to make yourself look good and make your president look good, Kellyanne Conway. But you look really, really stupid when you went on Fox and Friends, which, by the way, I don't watch. I watch clips because watching Fox News just upsets my stomach. But watching a clip of Kellyanne Conway stating that, and I quote, this is her quote, "This is coronavirus 19, folks, not coronavirus 1. We had about timing." What? Are you implying there were 19 other times where coronavirus came about? Okay, Kellyanne Conway, you are literally the dumbest person on earth. Maybe Charlemagne the God needs to give you Donkey of the Day again because coronavirus 19 or COVID 19 doesn't mean there have been coronavirus 19 times, you dimwit. COVID 19 means it was the coronavirus when it was first thought of, not really thought of, but discovered in the Wuhan community in 2019. COVID 19, coronavirus 2019. You work in the government, boo boo. You don't even know that? Really? Like, really? You get what you vote for, people. You get what you vote for. While the popular vote may have went to Hillary Clinton, the end game led to 45 winning, to Agent Orange winning. Because he played the smart game. He played the electorate game, which we need to make as well. We need to play that same game. And I'm telling you, 4 more years of ineptitude, idiocy, lack of leadership, authoritarian rule, unintellectual individuals in Congress on the Republican side, but more importantly on the executive branch. This causes America to be the laughingstock of the world now. We are living in some unprecedented times. I hope you are willing to do what it takes to change it for the better. Donate to the Red Cross so they can purchase PPE for doctors and nurses and ambulance drivers and and LPNs and RNs and so on and so forth. Um, Donate $5 here, donate $5 there. Text people that you're thinking of them. Send out a letter to to nurses and doctors and saying that we appreciate you. Do the small things because they need it. My mother received dozens upon dozens upon dozens of people from New Orleans to the hospital she works at as one of the lead nursing chiefs at the VA hospital. She lost several patients who was transmitted from or transferred from New Orleans to Jackson, Mississippi. She's high risk, but she has to be there. I know you know nurses and doctors and physicians that's standing in the front lines. Just tell them that we appreciate them. Thank you for what they do. Donate to a worthwhile charity so they're able to get all the requisite necessary equipment that they need to do their jobs well. We need to make a difference because, quite frankly, the person that's in the White House has shown he doesn't have the mental capacity and the empathy to do so. That's my journal. Y'all have a blessed one.